We are here today for a first appearance. Mr. Imholte's rights as well as the allegations.
I have, Judge. We waive reading.
Thank you. Combined with Rule 8 today.
Judge, we agree to accept Rule 8 materials by mail, and we would ask for an omnibus hearing.
Thank you. Ms. Darlene, as to release conditions.
The state's requesting $100,000 unconditional. The court's well aware of the circumstances of this case. I do believe that the conditions as requested are appropriate, given the overall circumstances of the charges. He does also have a history of not abiding by court orders and no contact orders specifically, and violates them via an online broadcast. So that he does have an HRO in place protecting a different individual. He recently was sentenced for an HRO violation. Did look up case law regarding a condition specifically regarding this. I could not find anything on point in Minnesota specifically, but I did find a Second Circuit Court of Appeals case where a similar condition was imposed. The Second Circuit Court of Appeals did find that it would not violate freedom of speech as it was reasonably related to the nature and circumstances of the offense. Additionally, I would ask for omnibus to be held within time. And I believe Mr. Peterson and I both are requesting that that be in person.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. As to release conditions.
Judge, it's my understanding that my client has a single misdemeanor conviction concerning a harassment restraining order. I say this for context concerning the severity of charges compared to other more severe charges. My client is a homeowner and has lived in Minnesota all his life. He's 37 years of age and divorced with 3 school-aged children. He has an Associate of Arts degree from Brown College and is the owner of Steel Toe Media. He advises me he has no felony record, no record of crimes of violence, with the exception of the single misdemeanor HRO that the prosecutor mentioned. This matter went out as a complaint warrant very recently. He retained me on Friday, and we had a plan for him to turn himself in this morning so we could address conditions of release. I would suggest that the request for $100,000 unconditional bail is excessive. And while we agree that harassing comments are inappropriate, I know this has to be balanced with a person's constitutional right to fair speech and any free speech, and any prohibition on speech should be narrowly tailored. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. I've read the complaint. I've reviewed the allegations. I think because what the court is most interested in ensuring here is that Mr. Imholte understands and is going to abide by the court's orders to not harass or have any contact with the alleged victim here. I do think that substantial monetary bail, which if posted would not come with the same conditions, is necessary to ensure that he continues to make court appearances and continues to follow the court's orders moving forward. So I do think some substantial unconditional bail is appropriate. I'll set that at $75,000. In the alternative, he can be released today without having to post any monetary bail, but he is to abide. He is to remain law-abiding. He is to make future court appearances. He is to keep in contact with his attorney. He is to keep the court updated of any change in his address. He is not to leave the state of Minnesota without permission of corrections. He is to not have any contact with the alleged victim in this case, KCR. He is to stay 500 feet away from her residence. The court is also going to order that he abide by all active harassment restraining orders, and also that he is to not have any indirect communication with KCR, which would include making disparaging comments specifically about her or harassing her on any medium, which would include in person, over the telephone, text message, online, social media, or broadcast through any podcasts or similar online shows. The court does believe that that restriction on simply not mentioning KCR is narrowly tailored to relate specifically to the rights and safety of the alleged victim in this case. So I will impose that condition as requested by the state. We'll set this for an omnibus. It will be an in-person hearing. Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Anything additional?
No, Your Honor.
Demanding speedy?
We are not demanding speedy, Judge. I discussed this issue with my client, and we want to thoroughly review and investigate the case.
All right, thank you. We'll set this matter without regard to time at this point.
The state is asking for it to be within time. And if there's any specific conflicts, Mr. Peterson and I can discuss with the court clerk.
We'll note the state speedy request, and then the next hearing date will be set in coordination with counsel.
So that is that. Aaron went into jail at 6 o'clock, turned himself in, was out of jail by 10. He has the choice to pay zero money and have all the conditions on him, or pay $7,500 to a bail bondsman and get some of those conditions waived, or pay $75,000 directly to the court for his bail. And either way, he's still not allowed to harass Kayla. I'm not sure what harass means. Does it mean harassing to talk about the stories of your love and your snow angels? I would doubt it. Anyways, stay tuned. We'll see what's happening. Kayla's requesting a speedy trial. I don't think she gets to decide how Aaron exercises his rights, but let's stay tuned.